Mega technical analysis disregarding all fundamentals. I'm just giving you short-term predictions based on what I'm seeing on the charts, so do not get mad if I'm going to be trashing on your company. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing based on the charts. I'm not even taking into consideration what the company has as far as catalysts or anything other than what I'm seeing with the price action, starting off with ticker symbol ZOM, Zomedica. We are in a bull pennant here. We have going as far back as the 4th in January. We have multiple validations, several validations, also a couple of recent validations. So this level is validated for sure. This top descending resistance level, not so much. We only have 1-2 validations on this one. But this is a bull pennant to me. That's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and draw a price target to see what we would be dealing with potentially if we were to break to the upside. Roughly, we're going to be looking at basically $3.50. That's pretty nice. That's close to 100% gain from where we're at now. Guys, if you're thinking about getting an entry point in this stock, this is what I'm recommending. Getting in on this ascending level is very nice. Unless the market's dump, this is going to break to the upside, in my opinion, no doubt. Unless the market's dump, that's the only way. The only realistic way that this is not going to break to the upside, in my opinion. Entry points, $1.78. all the way up to the breakout day, or at least, probably the breakout day, $1.86. Anywhere in that range will do you extremely well. Right now, we are currently above this 61.8% retracement level. If you can't wait and you just have to get in, that's not a horrible entry point, $1.85. You can get in there if you want. I don't really recommend buying right now just because we're closer to this resistance line. But if we do end up breaking right tomorrow at the open or in pre-market, feel free to play the breakout. Make sure you're looking at the MACD though on the 4 hourly. Let's take a look at the daily MACD actually. All right, well, the daily is not going to be that quick, and the daily is not very quick and not a very sensitive indicator to the price action, or at least not as much as the 4 hourly. So I would just look at the 4 hourly and the similar time frames on the MACD, because what you want to see on the confirmation, you want to see a confirmed breakout. Obviously, you don't want to see it come back into this pattern. If it does pull back after a breakout, look for a bounce off of this previous level of resistance. Also, make sure the orange MACD line crosses above the signal line. That will represent some very bullish momentum. On the relative strength index on the 4 hourly, we're looking at 49.54. Essentially, we're neutral. On the daily RSI, let's see what we're looking at. We're at 53, so we're pretty neutral. There's not much to tell there. Let's look at the Bollinger Band, see if we can get any indication for where the price action will be going. Okay, so we are seeing some very decreased distance between the two outside bands. That means decreased volatility. That could actually be bullish potentially. With the bands, it's kind of hard to get a solid indication of where we're going to go, but essentially, according to the daily, okay, it's kind of hard to show you right here with the price action, so I'm just going to go to the 4 hourly. All right, the bands were hooking in on the daily, so that could mean some decreased volatility and a more high chance of just bouncing in between this until we get a breakout, which will be to the upside. Let's go ahead and fix this. Okay, there we go. It's a little higher. Okay, it's a couple of cents higher of a price. Okay, $3.50, 51 cent now essentially. All right, so that's the price target. Let's take a look at the moving averages on the daily. We're looking very nicely. These two are looking very nice. These three, not so much. We are closing currently below the 21, 15, and 13-day moving averages. But we have the two most important golden crosses. The 200-day EMA is below the 15-day moving average and the 55-day moving average. Extremely bullish territory. The gap is widening between these. But guys, be careful on the daily. We are going to see three pretty significant resistance levels with these three moving averages. So that is going to be some, that's something to keep in mind. So that's what we're looking at as far as ticker symbol ZOM. AYRO, we are in a descending triangle here, depending on how you look at it. Or you could say, if we can zoom out here, you could say we are looking at a symmetrical triangle, but the symmetrical triangle, it's not really symmetrical, but it is a bull flag. Technically, if you want to take this ascending level and this descending level, personally, I'm thinking it's more likely that we're actually in a descending triangle, but either way, guys, we're oversold. So I would not be panicking if you're in this stock. We're on the oversold. We're closer to being oversold than overbought. We're at 41.34 on the 4 hourly. On the daily, we're looking at 46.57, and we are pretty closer to the oversold again on the daily. But guys, again, we were $1 a couple months ago, late last year. So this is going to be a little skewed, in my opinion. Guys, we are seeing a significant level of support though right now, this rectangular green level of support. This level actually goes back even farther, way back here, but I think we have enough validations as it is. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we just have too many. We have more than 10 validations on this rectangular level of support. That does mean that it has been validated a lot. It is definitely there. We have validated in the recent past, but it also means that it is going to be maybe potentially more weak than if it had been validated a little less, because one rule in technical analysis is that the more levels more times a level has been touched, the more likely it is to break. But we've been bleeding the last couple of days. The volume bars right here are not really stacking up. There's way more green volume. There's not really a lot of red volume for canceling that. I mean, it definitely cancels some of it, but not really a lot. Taking a look at the MACD on the daily, let's take a look at what we're looking at. Yes, we got some bearish momentum, but if we actually look on the 4-hourly, the orange MACD line is actually trying to gain some ground. It is currently over the signal line barely. I know that's hard to see. It is barely over it. It will be looking to increase its distance from the signal line. If you want to play this stock, I recommend, here's 2 ways to play it. This is the first way. Get on this rectangular level of support, roughly $6.70, all the way down to $6.36. If you really want, I would not recommend getting in all the way down here though, because we also have this ascending level of support. Let's go ahead and zoom out and go over the validations for this all the way back here on the 12th of November of last year. This was validated. We also validated this twice, pretty much perfect. Well, really like 4 times, 2 perfect validations in the very recent past. So this is going to be a strong level. So if you really want a good entry point, if you want to be safe, but if you also want a good price, this is what I would say: $6.67 up to basically $6.69. In that range, really anything under $7, if you can catch this, that's not going to be a bad play. According to the technicals alone, I don't know anything about the companies. This is just what I'm seeing in the charts. I would not be surprised if we broke to the upside here, guys. And of course, we're going to have a lot of resistance levels. It is pretty scary. If we look at the moving averages here, if you haven't noticed yet, we have a lot of death crosses. We have all the 3 small moving averages, the 13, 15, 21. They are all below the 55-day moving average. That's not what you want to see. Obviously, we also have the worst death cross that exists, in my opinion. We have the 200-day EMA has now crossed above the 15-day EMA on the 4-hourly. But guys, again, when it comes to moving averages, the daily moving averages are going to be more significant than the 4-hourly and the smaller time frames, in my opinion, usually. And on the daily, we are looking good. We still have the golden crosses. The 200-day EMA is below the 15-day moving average and the 55-day moving average, so we're not looking too bad. We are seeing a little bit of support coming in from that 55-day moving average. It's hard to see. It's right on that 100% retracement level, sitting at $7.13. So hopefully, if it does not hold below that, that's going to be bearish. You're going to see some level of resistance acting in the future from that 55-day moving average. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band, see what we're looking at. Let's go to the 4-hourly. Okay, we're seeing a little bit of a condensing of the distance between these 2 outside bands, this band and this band. If you're confused on how I'm getting any of these numbers, like the 200-day EMA, this is your key basically up here. They are kind of decreasing the distance between these 2 outside ones. That does signal decreased volatility, potentially bullish. I mean, what you want to see as a bull is you want to see some tight price action, not really a lot of movement, and then you want to see a strong move up on the breakout. You want to see a confirmed breakout. You want to see the MACD on the 4-hourly make some distance, cover some ground. And then if you want to play the breakout, guys, that's a great strategy for this stock. It's been bleeding for not a long time, but since the 11th of February. That's a pretty long time, especially for a stock as hot as this one. So this is not a bad play in my opinion. So that's what we're looking at as far as ticker symbol AYRO. Ticker symbol SKLZ. We did recently just validate this ascending level of support here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. This is like a little bit of a false breakdown, but it's stocks with low caps. This isn't necessarily a low cap stock, but guys, sometimes these stocks do not perform perfectly and behave perfectly when it comes to validations, and perfectly like clean validations like this one, for example. Let's zoom in right here. That's a perfect validation right there. We have plenty, guys. You get what I mean. Okay, going back as far as the 27th of November of last year, We have a ton of validations on this ascending level of support. We have been bleeding a while, and I think we can actually, if we actually draw a trend line right here, we can get a couple touch points on there. This is a potential bull flag, in my opinion. It may look like a little bit of a descending triangle if you have the support line right here. If we draw up a rectangle right here, yes, it does look like a little bit of a descending triangle. But guys, you may say that, but at the same time, we have this ascending level of support that has been validated plenty of times, and we just validated it basically perfectly a couple times in the recent past. So either way, guys, this is bullish. This is bullish for me. We're not looking too bad on the RSI. We're at 48.75 on the 4 hourly. On the daily, we're looking at 48.23 on the MACD is looking pretty scary. Okay, the daily MACD is a little misleading in my opinion. Let's look at the 4 hourly MACD. All right, look at this. Okay, this is extremely bullish territory. The MACD did just cross over the signal line. It is bullish. Obviously, you want to see it. You want to see it gain some more ground, like we saw back here. Once you see it moving up like this, some similar price action as we saw back here on the 4th of February. If you want to play the breakout, once we start to see that, it will probably already be above this descending trend line. Watch for the breakout. Watch for a confirmation on this previous level of resistance and a bounce off of it, because it will be a new support level, and then play the breakout. That is one way to trade this. If you want to trade this in another way, here's your other option: getting in on this ascending level of support. More risky, but it's also more potential profit, because obviously this is going to be a way better entry point, $29, rather than buying in after the breakout, or at least a little bit after the breakout. You know, if you're lucky, you can get in like $33 or whenever, right? It could break out here. It could be $34, whatever it is. Okay. Either way, this is going to be a more expensive price than anything down here, obviously. But if you want to get on this ascending level, if you wanted to get in on here, you have 3 levels of support here. So this is not going to be broken, in my opinion, realistically, unless the market's just freaking massive dumpage again this next week. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Anywhere from $28.16, but more likely like $29. Anything under $30 really is going to be more likely. We have 3 levels of support here. We have this rectangular green level of support. We have validated this 2 times in the recent past, and going as far back as the 3rd of February. We also have this ascending level of support that we've already gone over the validations for. And we also have this 100% retracement level, which we don't really see being used often, but nonetheless, it is going to be a support level. It has acted as support in the past. So you have 3 levels of support here. Very unlikely to be broken. Let's take a look at the daily moving averages. You have every golden cross you could want. We have the 200-day EMA below the 55 and the 15-day moving average. Obviously, you are seeing a little bit of, small death crossing. The 13-day moving average did move below the 15-day moving average. Not what you want to see. These levels, the current price is below all 3 of these moving averages, the 13, and 15, and 21-day. They are going to act as a level of resistance in the future. But guys, the gap is widening between the 55-day and the 200-day EMA. Guys, this is bullish territory macroscopically as far as the moving averages and golden crosses are concerned. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band, see if we can get some indication for price probabilities in the near term. Get this a little confusing. The EMA is they're the exact same color, all right? But guys, this one that's a little more volatile and random, that's the outside band, and they're basically in the same spot, so it doesn't matter that much anyway. But we are seeing a little bit of decreasing in distance between the outside bands. That does mean a small amount of decreased volatility. That's not really a great indication. I mean, yes, that could mean there's a higher chance of actually trading in between this pattern right here, and then potentially having a strong move up or a strong move down. Either way, it will probably be a strong move in whichever direction it's going to be. So that's what we're looking at as far as ticker symbol SKLZ. Taking a look at ticker symbol OCGN, we are in a bull pennant, and this one a little bit of a weird one, because this level, obviously, typically we would have it, hold on one second. Typically we would have it like this. This time it's basically just right like this. It's a little weird. But guys, this is what you get with stocks that are not large cap. Typically small caps, mid caps. Companies with smaller valuations are going to be more volatile and more hard to predict based on the technicals, because that's what I do. Okay, I don't really analyze large cap stocks too much. I mean, I do. I mean, we're going to be covering Tesla in a little bit, but guys, this is what I do. All right, let's look at my positions. All right, they are all small valuations compared to a lot of the big dogs, right? Okay, all right, but we are in a bull pennant here. We have several touch points of this descending level of resistance, and guys, right now we are seeing a breakout. Right now, it's trying to confirm. It's trying to confirm this descending level as the new level of support. If it does hold this, and you see some small price action on the pre-market tomorrow. If you see a little bit of positive momentum, watch the MACD, watch this, draw this up, watch for a holding above this descending level, and that is a potential entry point. Get in on this previous level of resistance. It's going to be the new level of support. We have 2 hourly closes above, just barely. We're basically closing right on it, and we do have perfect validations. So this is going to be a fairly accurate level to watch. We have basically one perfect validation on the last trading day. We have one on the 24th and one on the 11th, all in February. If we do break back in here, then your entry points are going to be on this ascending level. If it drops like a ton, if it drops like 28% nearly, literally, like, well, not 20, probably like 22-ish. I'm doing that math from the 50% to 78.6% retracement. It's probably wrong, but something like 20%. Your levels to watch for a buy-in on this ascending level that we have validated several times, going as far back as the 2nd of February, the start of February. You're going to be looking at $7.70, going all the way up to, the next couple of days. You're going to be looking at $7.98, anywhere around $8. Really, there's probably going to be a ton of buy limit orders at the $8 flat mark, because that's just how it works. I have level 2 data. I will have that for like a year or more. So and I've had it for a while in the past as well. That's just how it works. Whole numbers, people load up their buys there because they can't do math and they don't want to do a calculator, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know why. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, that's fine if you do it. I don't really care. But let's take a look at the daily moving averages. We do have everything you want to see here, but not really everything you want to see. I mean, yes, you have all the two most important golden crosses, but the gap is pretty narrow between these. But that could be a good thing, because firstly, this 55-day moving average crossing above the 200-day EMA, that was recent. That was in the 10th. That was a couple weeks ago. So that is going to be that has been providing some more bullish sentiment for the stock. Obviously, the price action has not been reflecting that. Besides the last day, that we got a strong bounce off of this 21-day moving average / this ascending level of support, one of the two, right? Or both of them, really. And then we obviously are closing above this, we're closing like right on the level of resistance if we look at the 4 hourly. But guys, the gap is not too wide between these, but that could mean there's more upside in the future. Taking a look at the relative strength index, we're looking at 62.41 on the relative strength index, guys. MACD is not looking the best, but the orange line on the daily chart, I don't like the daily chart for the MACD, but it is looking like it is trying to cross over back again. Let's take a look at the 4 hourly MACD, though. A little more accurate, in my opinion, a lot of the time. This is what I'm talking about, right? I mean, when you have a day like that, you open up at $8 and close at $10 almost, you're going to be looking pretty good as far as the MACD. Okay, yes, we crossed over the blue signal line, and the orange line is higher right now. It is winning the battle right now. That will be representing some bullish momentum for the stock going forward. On the 4 hourly RSI, let's take a look, 57.58. So we're kind of neutral, guys. We were oversold. You could have bought on this ascending level, which is never a bad idea. And usually getting in when it's earlier, like right here, is going to be better, because guess what? This price is $6.40. That's cheaper than way over here, $7.30. It's still on the same support level, but guess what? It's ascending. So every time you don't get in, you potentially are just making the future buy-in price higher. But you got to be careful, because of course it can break down in a bull pennant. It's unlikely, and if you've done your due diligence on a stock, it is unlikely. But always keep that in mind. Always keep the risk tolerance in the back of your mind. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. See if we get some indication for price action probabilities. We are actually, this is kind of weird, we are seeing a crazy amount of distance shorting of decreasing of the distance between these two outside bands, which is kind of crazy, because we did just have a nice, huge green day, right? Huge green candle. But we are seeing some decreased distance that could signal some decreased volatility. Let's look at the 4 hourly. I don't really think there's anything to say here. It's really not. Yeah, they're not really moving. So that's what we're looking at as far as ticker symbol OCGN. Taking a look at ticker symbol BCRX, we have a fairly beautiful bull pennant here. We have a lot of validations in this ascending level going as far back as late last year. We also have some validations on the January, February, not very recent, but on the 12th, so a couple weeks ago. We have been trading inside this bull pennant for a while. And let's drop the price target because, guys, that's what everyone wants to know, right? What is the price target? This is a huge bull pennant. It's been going on for a while. What is the price target looking like? We're going to have to go out to the daily. All right, we're looking at above $14. We're currently trading at like $10. That's a pretty sweet price target, in my opinion. Not bad at all. So if you're looking for an entry point in this stock, and this company has a lot of hype on it, and I was actually considering getting an entry point in the stock down here when we were on this ascending level. Obviously, kind of wish I did, but kind of didn't as well. This is whatever. Technicals, guys, technicals, this is all I'm giving you. I'm not giving you financials or anything. If you're looking for an entry point, your first level to watch is very close to where we're actually at right now, roughly $10.70, 65 cents, all the way down to $10.28. If you can't wait and you're just so bullish and you just have to get in and you think it's going to explode tomorrow, that's going to be your entry level. That's going to be your first decent entry point. If you want a really auspicious entry point, wait till it comes down and hits this ascending level of support. This level has not been broken. I mean, we could probably extend this even further. I mean, let's see what happens if we extend a little further. Does it have any more touch points? Yeah, it actually does. Literally, it has some resistance touch points right here, a little bit of support right there. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to be an extremely strong trend line. In my opinion, the only way this dumps realistically is if the markets dump. Of course, CEO can get shot in the head, or some Wall Street analyst can announce that they short the stock or something. Not very realistic, but it can always happen. Guys, this level is not going to get broken, in my opinion. That's going to be a great entry point in the stock. Me personally, I actually will be watching to see if we do come down here to test this level again. Let's take a look at the moving averages on the daily. Pretty much everything you could wish for. We got 200-day EMA below the 55-day MA and the 15-day MA. Those are the two most golden crosses. Green flag there. Let's take a look at the daily RSI, Relative Strength Index. We're looking at 56/03, so we are closer to being overbought than oversold. But look at the run-up and the recent pass. Let's look at the 4-hourly RSI, see if it's any different. We're looking at 47.85. So see, this is why looking at multiple time frames is efficient, guys. You don't want to just be looking at one time frame. Look at as many as you can. Map out as much as you can. Look at as many different indicators as you can without going through like every single one of them, because there's literally hundreds of them. Because the RSI, we are closer to being oversold than overbought. On the MACD, we have been bleeding a little bit the last couple of days. Obviously, we had highs of $12. We touched this descending level, and we obviously got rejected pretty harshly, but we are getting a bounce off this green rectangular level. This has been a level of resistance going back as far as the 22nd in January. Has been a little bit of resistance in here. Obviously, it's been support a couple times as well. So that's what we're looking at, guys. We also do have a little bit of a George W. Not really, though. I mean, we have if you take it, I mean, yeah, we have a little bit of double bottom here, one bottom there, but also we have one first bottom there, second bottom here, but there's like a 7,000 touch points here, so it's not really a textbook George W. at all. Double bottom, those are bullish, but yeah, not really valid. But guys, that level is the green rectangular level is not going to do you too bad. If you are going to be playing this, play it for the breakout or get in on this ascending level, or maybe start your position or add a little bit to your position on this 1065. If you get in with a full position here, that's great. If you're bullish, I'm happy for you long term. If this is a good long term play for you, that's great. But guys, that's not that's a high probability trade, but that's not the highest probability trade. This ascending level is going to be the most auspicious and high probability trade that you can get, especially if you can get it like right when these two levels are intersecting. That would be pretty sweet. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band, see if we get any indication for price action. So we are seeing a little bit of hooking in. That is going to be some decreased volatility. Not really much to say about that. Let's look at the daily. So we are seeing a little bit of action here. That one of them is hooking in, the other one is kind of doing nothing. So we are seeing a little bit of decreased volatility there. Not really much to say besides that. Okay, looking at the MACD and on the daily. MACD on the daily is actually looking very bearish. This is why you want to look at multiple time frames. We wouldn't be able to know this if we only looked at the 4-hourly or the 1 hour. Okay, this is why we always look at multiple time frames, especially for indicators like the MACD and the Relative Strength Index. The orange MACD line is crossing below the signal line right now. It is bearish, so be careful. If we look at the 4-hourly MACD, the signal line is already above the MACD line, so we are looking at bearish territory. As far as the MACD goes, if you want to play a small breakout, like if you want to play a bounce off of this, watch for a little bit of positive price action, and then if the MACD on the 4-hourly or the daily, if the MACD line crosses the signal line, that is a buy signal, but obviously don't just go off one indicator. If you do buy into the stock, look at every indicator that you can, get in on this ascending level, play the breakout, play the bull pennant breakout, or the bounce off the support or this ascending level. Okay, I know it's a lot, but that's what we're looking at as far as BCRX. JMIA. Okay, this is actually a really good stock, and this is in a very good buy zone right now. We're sitting at $44.23 right now. Getting that number right here if you're a little confused. Guys, we have been trading in this descending pattern right here. We are bearish short term. Obviously, we have these two descending resistance line, descending support. Your first level to watch. We got a nice bounce off this on the 23rd of February. We haven't really been bouncing right now. We've been hitting both of these support levels, and we're not really seeing a bounce. That could be potentially bearish, right? We're not really seeing a bounce off the support like we typically would, and like we typically have seen in the past. We have seen at least a fair amount of bouncing off of this level, off this decent level of support. If this dips all the way down to this next rectangular level of green support, and the markets are not like crashing, and if it just does it on its own, guys, that is an amazing buy zone in my opinion. $35.85. This is a good long-term buy right now where it's at. If it dips all the way down here, $36 or even $31, okay, and let me show you real quick how I'm getting these levels. Okay, this level has acted as a support in the near past, right? We're going start of January, has acted as a resistance level going as far back as the 24th in November of last year, and resistance here as well. Guys, this is going to be an extremely strong level, and the same with this green rectangular level. It also does go back as support, and it does go back as resistance all the way back in November as well. So guys, these are going to be strong levels, and the fact that we're not really bouncing very much off of this is potentially bearish. If you can catch this under $40, like on this level, that's not bad either, guys. That when the markets start recovering, this stock will probably start doing its thing again. Take a look at the daily, guys. We've been uptrending massively. You know, we were at $7. This is essentially like this looks similar to Tesla, honestly. All right, we're actually about to cover Tesla in case you probably know what I mean in a little bit if you don't already. Guys, we've just been going up a massive amount. Taking a look at the RSI though, guys, we're almost oversold on the daily RSI, even though the macroscopic uptrend is insanely bullish. I mean, look at it. We were at $7 last year, September, October, $7, and now we're at 40. We're at $40 now. All right, but taking a look at the moving averages, this is pretty interesting. We do have the 200-day EMA below the 55-day and the 13-day or the 15-day moving average, excuse me. But look at this, 55-day moving average. Price action, it didn't really act as a support level, or at least not on the daily chart, does it? This level is going to be acting as a significant resistance level, very significant resistance level in the near term. If we start to see a push, a potential sell signal, if you want to swing, is the daily 55-day moving average. And if we do dip all the way down here, guess what? The 200-day EMA will probably have risen a little bit closer to that, and if you can get an entry point on that, oh my gosh, that's going to be extremely auspicious, in my opinion. Taking a look at the MACD, it is looking absolutely brutal on the daily, right? The gap is just increasing between the signal line and the MACD line. Let's take a look at the 4-hourly again. Okay, the MACD on the 4-hourly is not looking as bad. It's looking like the MACD line is trying to cross over the signal line again. That would represent some bullish momentum for the stock. The 4-hourly RSI, we're looking at 36.59. So we are pretty oversold. We're on the oversold side at least. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. We're not really seeing anything. They're just both kind of going. They're both just kind of following the price action. We're not really seeing decreasing or increasing of the distance between them. They're close to parallel right now. So there's really not much to say about that. Let's look at the daily Bollinger Band, see if we can get some indication. Holy crap, this is weird. Okay, we're seeing increased volatility signaled to me by this hooking out of this band. That's actually bullish to me, honestly, because honestly, even if that does, volatility is not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. Remember, it just means it's more likely to have huge swings in the up or down direction. No no increased likelihood for either of them. Okay. If this does mean, let's just be bearish. Let's say this does go down. Hey, guys, we're not breaking below this level. All right, I don't think that realistically there's no way we're breaking below this, and that's just an amazing entry point. Let's say you get in here, right around $40. If we dip, great, double your position, sell something else, and average down, or even better, if you have extra buying power, double down on it, and then boom, you're gonna break. Once we break out this descending level, guys, we're probably gonna come all the way up here to test this ascending level of support, now turned resistance. Obviously, has obviously acted as a lot of support in the past. So that's what we're looking at as far as JMIA. Taking a look at Tesla, the one and only, the stock that never goes down, guys. We were doing amazing. Obviously, $500, $600 range for a while, and then boom, all the way to 900. And now we're seeing a significant sell-off. And let's look at the daily. We're about to have some death crossing action. Not really insanely significant death crosses, right? The death crosses and golden crosses, most important ones, in my opinion, are between the 200-day EMA and the 55-day moving average, and the 200-day EMA and the 15-day EMA. Okay, interactions between anything else, yes, it's going to be a little bit of a death or a golden cross, but not as much, not as significant in my opinion. And that's just how I do the moving averages. Someone else could do it differently, but guys, take a look at this. We didn't really see any support coming in from this 55-day moving average. That's a little strange, but these four levels are going to act as a significant level of resistance in the near future. And we are currently seeing a bounce. This is actually a really similar chart to JMIA, actually. Okay, I mean, not even, remember when I said it was uptrend? Okay, obviously Tesla's uptrend is just forever, right? It just perpetually goes up forever, right? This is one of the worst sell-offs we've seen with Tesla. Not one of the worst, but it's pretty bad one nonetheless. Guys, we are seeing a significant bounce off this rectangular level of support, sitting at roughly $660, going down to like $645. This level has acted as a little bit of resistance and support level in the past. If we do dip more, if you're bullish on this company long term, $617 to $590 roughly. Those are going to be your next entry points if you can catch it there. Also, guys, take a look at the 200-day EMA. It will be creeping up. And if you can catch it, if it does dip all the way down, let's say it just continues in this path and the market just keeps going like a little bit down, I don't know, a couple more percent in the next couple weeks. On the 12th of March, so pretty soon here, that's where I'm getting the date, like right down here, okay? On the 12th of March, if you can get in on this ascending level of support, this is what Tesla has done in the recent past. All right, we have validation here, almost a couple validations here, and then two more right there. Okay, as recent as last year, November. That's not that long ago, really. Macroscopically on the daily chart, that's not that long ago. If you can get on this ascending level, this right when we touch this, that's going to be when we break the downtrend, in my opinion. Obviously, that would be way down at $566. That is a little bit unlikely, but guys, if you can't wait that long, and of course it's not guaranteed to dip this far, but if it does, that's a good entry point if you're bullish on this company long term. If not, obviously your first entry point is going to be on this level. I've already detailed the spots for that, and your next level is going to be $617 to 587 levels. $587 roughly. And if you don't want to do that, just draw up the charts on your own and just get in on this descending level of support. And then if you want to play the breakout, obviously you guys know how to play a breakout. We've already been over this. Watch for the breakout and watch for confirmation of this previous level of resistance as the new support, and play and then ride the wave up. And if it doesn't test this level of support, great. Just buy in, set a stop loss, and set a trailing stop loss if you want, and then just ride the wave up. Taking a look at the RSI on the daily, we are looking very oversold. This is very bullish. We're looking at 33 on the relative strength index. MACD, obviously it's looking pretty brutal. Let's take a look at the 4-hourly RSI though. We're looking at 39.65 on the relative strength index on the 4-hourly. That is bullish. You want to see it go. You want to see it be low on the RSI. Better to buy in when it's oversold than overbought. Of course, on the 4-hourly MACD, it's pretty much anyone's game right now. I think the signal line has a small advantage. but the MACD line is looking like it could cross over at any moment, so just be careful. Once the markets start doing well, wow, look at this, look at this candle wick, all the way up to 1,700 and all the way down to 648. Wow, imagine if you bought in right there and then just sold up there. Wow. Wow, someone probably did that. But, market manipulation, okay, that is probably market manipulation. That is a good case for market manipulation, but guys, we don't have evidence. Don't be one of those people that claim something that you don't have evidence for, and that you're not fully aware of everything in the situation, in my opinion. Of course, do whatever you want, but that's what we're looking at as far as Tesla goes. Taking a look at TRXC, we are looking at almost a descending triangle, but this actually is a bull pennant, bull flag, because guys, this is an ascending level of support, and this is a descending level of resistance. Guys, this is primed for a breakout. I'm actually going to be watching this one. If I had any buying power, I would probably be, let's see how much buying power I have right now. 0. So if I had buying power, this would be one I'd be watching. This is, if you believe in this company long term, get in on this ascending level. Actually, right now at the price that it is. And guys, I don't even have a position in the stock. Obviously, look at my account. Okay, these are all my positions. Here's another way of looking at my positions. Okay, none. I don't have TRXC. But this is a great entry point right now. But guys, watch out. It is looking like right now it's struggling very much to bounce off of this ascending level of support here, sitting at roughly $3.69. If you can get an entry point, if you want to, that's your first level. If you want to get an even better entry point, this 100% retracement level sitting at roughly $3.29 is going to be not bad at all. We also have the 200-day EMA coming up on the 4-hourly chart. That is going to represent some more support as well. Personally, I think there's a pretty low chance that we're going to break this level. But at the same time, there's definitely a chance because we're not really seeing much of a bounce on it. But if we do see a bounce on it and then a rejection of this, something like this, see some sort of price action like this, like I'm doing with my mouse, that's going to be extremely bullish. Load up on your position when we come and test this support to see if we can get a bounce, and then ride the wave up. Ride the wave up, take profits on the way up. You guys know what to do. All right, let's drop a price target based on this bull flag. These do not always come true, but this is what the price target would be, above $7. Guys, that's basically 100% from where we are now. So guys, I'm bullish on this company short term based on the technicals and the relative strength index. We are bullish as well. We are oversold 33.38. The only way it dips below this 100% retracement level is if the markets keep dumping. There's a chance that if the markets do good, that this can still dump below this ascending level of support. I just say that because the bounce has been very iffy lately, and this is a validated level of support. Obviously, we have a perfect validation right there, all the way down here. Okay, we have plenty of validations to verify this as a legit level of support. But yes, it can dip below this, and if it does, you are going to see some support coming in from the 200-day EMA and the 100% retracement level. Taking a look at the MACD on the 4-hourly, it's not looking amazing, but the gap is kind of closing between the MACD line and the signal line. If you want to play the breakout, that's probably the safest way to do it. Look for the signal line crossing below the MACD line. Let's take a look at the daily moving averages. This is extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. This is very interesting. We don't see this very often with my stocks, at least, because my stocks are only going up essentially. Not really, but most of the macroscopically they are, right? But guys, on the 17th, on the 16th or 17th of February, right in that time, the 200-day EMA crossed below the 55-day EMA, and of course it is below the 15-day moving average. Those are the two most important golden crosses, and both of them are intact. They are both there. There's green flags everywhere as far as the moving averages. So extremely bullish territory there. On the daily RSI, we're looking at 47.29. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band, see if we can get some indication for where the price may go in the future. All right, we're seeing some decreased volatility. That's actually a good thing because that represents that, all right, we're probably not going to be breaking this all the way to the downside. We may be getting a small bounce again, coming up to this middle level, maybe seeing some resistance on this 13-day moving average, trading sideways, and then right when we come to the end of this, boom, strong move higher or strong move lower. I predict a strong move higher, though, but we will see. Anything can happen. So that's what we're looking at as far as ticker symbol TRXC. Let's take a look. My current positions real quick. I mean, there's literally nothing. Oh, okay. Google find its internal error. Wow, I've never seen that before. That's insane. Well, all right, guys. Well, since we don't even see their current price, let's just go over here. Let's just go over here and use it. Okay, these are the current prices. These are all my positions. This is what we're looking at. This is a call for Nano Dimension. I'm down like an insane amount right now. I'm down literally 37%. Guys, it's a small position though, and I'm holding. These are my price targets. Relevant information in regards to how it's finished now. Feel free to click off if you have more important things to do. This is the part where I will do the stuff that most YouTubers do in the first 5 seconds. Plus cool stuff, guys. I hope you appreciate this. I know y'all do, but especially for new people that don't realize how good they're getting it with these videos. Yes, that sounds a little arrogant. Yes, I know, but it's the truth. All right, let's be honest. I don't waste your time by asking for likes or subs or putting ads on. If you notice, I've never put an ad on the video. I've never asked for subs or likes or ranted very long. I try not to rant at all in the relevant section. This is the irrelevant section where we're allowed to do all that BS that other YouTubers will do in the first 5 seconds. Other piece of information / websites that should be added along with the stuff we normally covered. Let me know if you have something like that and you know of some sort of site or information that we should be looking at. BrandonBallSeattle.com. That's where you want to reach me if you have some sort of serious suggestion or question. Guys, I will make mistakes / do not expect perfection from me, yourself, or anyone. This is a great rule of thumb in life. Use several brokers. Platform I am using for technical analysis is Webull. This is the platform I'm referring to. This is Webull. If you did not know that, you will get free stocks with them in the description. If you use the link below and deposit $100 on your initial deposit, we will get access to pre-market and after-hours trading as well. The future does not consist of us changing our business model because of success. Success is not going to change our business model. All right. If anything, it's just going to make our business model better because there's just going to be more people, and I'll be doing fine. All right. I'm not going to need more money with ads. Trust me. Okay. So that's my promise to you guys. And what you can do to make no ads the YouTube standard is just support the channel, share it, do whatever you can. Or not, whatever. Bionet to the moon. Power resides where men believe it resides. This is from Varys in Game of Thrones. Shout out to anyone who likes Varys. It's not financial advice, guys. Thank you all so much. See you all in the next one.